What is in-group bias?
Picture this: a bustling city park on a sunny afternoon. Two amateur football teams, one in red and the other in blue, are engaged in a friendly match. An observer, who happens to be a fan of the red team, watches from the sidelines. Each time the red team scores, he cheers enthusiastically. When the blue team scores, however, he finds reasons to downplay their success. "It was just luck," he mutters under his breath. As the match progresses, the observer's bias becomes more evident. He praises the skill and teamwork of the red team while criticizing the blue team for their aggressive tactics. Despite the fact that both teams are playing by the same rules and displaying comparable skill levels, the observer's allegiance to the red team colors his perspective. This, in essence, is an illustration of in-group bias. In-group bias is the psychological phenomenon where individuals express an undue preference for their own group over others. It's a bias that subtly influences our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Be it sports teams, political affiliations, or even our favorite music genres, we often perceive our own group as superior, more ethical, or more competent than others. This bias can be traced back to our early ancestors, who relied on their tribes for survival. Identifying with a group and favoring its members was a matter of life and death back then. While we've evolved significantly since our tribal days, this ancient bias still lingers in our modern minds, subtly guiding our perceptions and judgments. In-group bias can have significant implications. It can lead to prejudice, discrimination, and even conflict. It's a bias that can cloud our judgment and hinder our ability to make fair decisions. We may overlook the flaws of those in our group, while magnifying the shortcomings of those in outgroups. The story of the football match is a simple example, but it illustrates how this bias can play out in everyday situations. We may not even realize we're doing it, but it's there, subtly influencing our thoughts and behaviors. In conclusion, in-group bias is a deeply ingrained psychological phenomenon that influences how we perceive others. It can lead us to favor those in our group, often at the expense of fairness and impartiality. Recognizing this bias within ourselves is the first step towards mitigating its effects. It's not an easy task, but it's a necessary one if we aspire to be fair, impartial, and inclusive in our judgments and interactions. So the next time you find yourself cheering for your favorite team, take a moment to reflect. Are you being fair in your judgments, or is in-group bias subtly influencing your perceptions? Awareness is the first step towards change. And change, as they say, begins with you.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and check out our store link in the description below.